Alright, what is up, boys? Welcome to the first off-season video. It is January 10th. Season just got over about 2 hours ago. I took my dad out for the last late season hunt, and we encountered 15 bucks. Everything is young except for one mature 6-point. We ended up encountering him, and he was one of the few bucks that did not come out into the field, which was super unfortunate. That deer staging up in the timber, he was sparring, he was pinning his ears back, running off bucks, and just showing, dominance. And I really wanted to get that deer out of there, but that was not the case. So Dad might have a redemption season next year after that deer late season. But anyway, with that said, I am on my way to my Southern Iowa farm this year, where I had 3 deer. They were core deer. I was super excited about all of them. 2 of the deer were 4.5-year-olds. One is a 6x5 that I don't have a name for, all over the farm, and then one is a 5x4, just a 9-point with it's not even really a split G2. It's like, I don't know what he's got going on, but he's heavy. So that buck I named Baby Abe, and actually he's a deer. This is my 2nd year history with him. He was 3.5 last year. I filmed him the morning I killed my buck, and from that point I named him Baby Abe because there was a deer a few years ago. I have it's the biggest shed on my YouTube, the biggest shed I found so far, and that was a deer we'd call Abe. But that giant absolutely disappeared. No idea what happened to him. But those 2 deer are targets for this year. I had a 3.5-year-old that I named Baby Dream. Some of you might know about Dream. My buddy ended up killing him after he completely switched up his core area when he turned 6.5, and he was on my buddy's farm the entire season up until he killed him mid-November. But he was 202 in an 8th as a mainframe 8-point with matching split G2s, flyers, like elk bases, just massive. And this deer at 3.5 was identical to Dream, matching split 2s with a flyer coming, an absolute toad of an 8-point at 3.5. And I went down there to the Southern Iowa farm one time this year on November 7th to make an evening hunt, strictly to get footage of this 3.5-year-old that I call Baby Dream, to start building the story. From pictures, I have awesome trail cam pictures, but I just knew I wanted to get footage to build this story. So not having any targets there, I still went down to film him, sacrifice that 6-hour round trip to get footage of this deer. And it was an absolute blessing. Literally took an hour, and I was getting footage of this deer. Could have killed him, but I was happy. I was stoked. Didn't think anything of it. Thought for sure this deer would make it. And 3 days later, found out that the neighbor killed him. So that was super unfortunate. But I still have these 2 4-year-olds that I am absolutely stoked about. So I'm making right now, that's kind of the point of this intro, is I'm making a trip right now at 7:40 on January 10th. Season is over, and I'm going out to that farm in Southern Iowa to put out alpha hay, which is bagged alfalfa, a buddy's business. It's called Alpha Hay, and corn. I put the bagged alfalfa for the greens and its protein, and then corn is obviously their carbs. And I mix it 50-50. Right now I have 800 pounds of alpha hay, and I probably have closer to 1,000 pounds of corn. So there's many reasons why I feed deer in the winter. Main reason, and I absolutely love shed hunting. I love shed hunting, but I'm being honest right now. The main reason is inventory, because all these deer right across the railroad tracks from me, I will not get pictures of. My core deer for next year's bow season, this time of year, I will not get pictures of unless I have food. They do not cross the tracks unless I have food. They always go south. So inventory is number one for me, and at all my farms. As you guys will see, we'll be putting out alpha hay and corn. But inventory number one. Second reason, all these bucks are absolutely worn down from the rut, as you guys all know. And it helps them get through the winter. And as you guys already know, the sooner their bodies can heal up, the sooner they can start building up the nutrition to grow antlers. So that also helps in my eyes. So sorry for the super long intro. Just wanted to kind of inform everybody watching why I feed deer and how I feed deer, because a lot of people might actually hate on me for doing what I do, but I've never seen the downfall of it. I've never had something bad happen. I've never had a buck go missing or die. I've never seen an issue with my deer herd. So with all that said, I got another 2.5 hours, and I will I'll see you guys when I get there. Alrighty boys, it is 10:20 and I'm just getting here to the farm. But I took my bag out of the truck on this last evening hunt with my dad, and I thought I left it in here, and that's where my knife was. So all these alpha hay bags, got the bow still in here. So we are going to be using the old faithful Slick Trick Raptor tricks to cut open all 16 of these alpha hay bags. Alrighty boys, I also forgot my flashlight, so I'm using my phone. But if you're wondering what the alpha hay looks like, this is what it looks like. And it smells absolutely amazing. Alrighty guys, real quick, this is the home camera. This is the fence cap. This is always a big scrape right here. I only did 4 bales and probably 100 pounds of corn. Just because on this home camera, just changed batteries in the 12D battery pack and the camera, but I did not bring the tools to loosen the swivel mount to face it out here in the field. So camera is stuck there. That's why I only did a small pile there. We're gonna go down to the food plot and do the rest of this food, which is a lot. Alrighty boys, that's quite a bit of work, but here's the rest of the food. I just do it pretty skinny and long, facing away from the camera. This is I got an L series here. I gotta change the batteries quick, but that is all she wrote for tonight. Alrighty boys, it is Sunday, the next day. Just got done with the 2 piles at the home farm. You guys seen, I did the biggest pile furthest away in the destination food. And then right here, I did only like 200 pounds of corn, 100 pounds of alpha hay. And then we got the old Cuddy Back J series there. And I'm going back to put the home camera at the furthest place away. I don't know with these rolling hills that these cameras are even gonna sync up. So, but this food will be gone in no time, and by then everything else will find the food way out in the ag. So I'm excited boys. Alrighty boys, it is January 17th. This would be the 3rd pile of the year This is probably a half-mile away from any bedding. The field to the closest to the bedding right now is the destination food. I don't have permission to put food there, but this next field over, right where I'm at, with a little bit of cover, I got permission over here. So this would be the same deer herd that I was hunting this season in the fall for fun, because as you guys know, I didn't have any targets. Anyway, we're gonna get, I only started with 3 bags of alpha hay and about 250 pounds of corn, just because I am not sure if these deer are gonna come out this far to find this food. But that's why we got the cutty back tracks, and we're gonna find out shortly if they're gonna find this food. But third pile of the year, the first 2 piles last weekend was the Southern Iowa farm and then the home farm. All the bucks at the home farm that I wanted to made it, all young deer. And the 2 targets I have for next year that were 4.5 this year, they were all over the farm, but those 2 deer have not showed up, and I'm getting a little worried. But it's still early, food's only been there a week, so hopefully they find it soon. But I'm gonna get this food out. Alrighty boys, it is January 18th. I wish this was a shed hunting video, but it is not yet. So I ended up getting out the 4th pile, and it's actually in a new spot that I got permission for. It's not very big, but I know the neighboring property has a lot of bucks. And those are, it's pretty close to the home farm. But it's definitely not my deer herd. I mean, it's deer that I could potentially see, you know, during the rut and stuff, but I had a J series camera with me, just using it as a standard camera, and I forgot this mount yesterday. So right now it's literally just tied up on a tree, because I wasn't sure if I even had another one of these at home. Because I went and got it from a field edge, and my stake for the CuddyLink cam, or the CuddyBack camera, was frozen in the ground. And I'm actually driving past it right now, but it is still there, frozen in the ground. So I'm gonna run back to that. I'll tell you guys a little bit about that spot, and I'm interested actually to see if last night the deer found it. If the deer found it, we're gonna look at that camera card quick, and we'll see what showed up to it. Definitely a new deer herd, so kind of excited about that. But if the deer found it, I'm gonna put out a little more food today, and then go from there. And we'll check that one on like a weekly basis. But then I'm gonna run back out to the home farm. In the main pile there, I have 2 piles at the home farm. The main pile is way out in the ag field. The deer obviously have all found it. All the deer found it, and they've been absolutely hammering it. And I got, I don't know, I'd say 10, 12 different bucks there. So still nothing huge. The deer that I'm most excited about, I filmed a ton this year. I call him, I don't really have a name for him. He's just the 3-year-old 9-point. He's just gonna be, I just feel like he's gonna be a big deer. And I was so nervous that he was gonna get shot this year, just being a 3-year-old 9-point, super wide frame, just looks like an absolute stud. From a distance on a hill, he looks like a giant. So nobody out there in that area would have passed him up, but I'm blessed and happy that he made it. So he's the #1 sheds on the home farm. So, but like I said, we got 12 different bucks there. So 10, 12 different bucks. So there's anywhere from 20, 24 sheds that are going to be out there. Alrighty boys, here is that 4th pile that we put out, and the only tracks that are here are all rabbits. So the deer have not found this yet. Yeah, that is all rabbit tracks. But just on the other side of these railroad tracks, literally right there, 50 yards away, there is a bedding area. And I absolutely know that for a fact. So I think whenever these deer find this, I think they're going to be coming across these tracks and they're going to be hammering it. So I didn't put alpha hay here yet. I'm probably going to wait another week. I'll come back probably next Friday and come here and check it. And if they found it, I'll come back and put more food out, more alpha hay. So right now there's probably literally only 100 pounds of corn there. So I'm gonna get this camera. Yeah, this is pretty clapped, what I had to do last night. But I'm gonna get that new mount on there, and then we'll go out to the home farm. Alrighty boys, we're at the main pile here at the home farm. Cover's way over that hill, but there is so much food here yet. There's alpha hay, tons of corn. Home camera's there. Probably not gonna add any more, but this is the power of food. What food does. This is a perfect example. And there's beds all over in here, but deer bedded down right there. There's 2 beds there. There's a bed there, bed there. There's beds all over. And what these deer do, if you put food way out in the ag field, and you can really you know, pinch the movement down to your food, they bed. If you put it next to any sort of cover, especially this is out of the northwest wind. That's why I put this pile here, and they bed all over around it. So I guarantee you, obviously the Lord is in control, but can't guarantee you, but this is the first year I put food in this exact spot. But I bet you in this acre right here, we'll have at least 4 sheds, I bet. So food pays off. There's a ton of food here. I'm not gonna add any. And they don't bed here. Obviously they bed in the river bottom, so I can come here, and as soon as I get a shed buck, I can come in here and just check this little spot. So first shed buck we get, we're gonna come check, and I think we'll find a few sheds right here for sure. But I'm in the works of another new property. I got to make some phone calls. It's actually a property that I will, if I can bow hunt, I will be scouting, getting cameras up this summer in that area and trying to, you know, figure out what the deer herd looks like. But I'm in the works of getting food on that property, and I know the deer density is high where that farm's at, so hopefully I can get food there. But I'm gonna end the first part of this video and get it uploaded, just so you guys kind of know what I'm doing every weekend. With all that said, boys, I hope you guys tag along, see what I find this year for antlers. My goal, I don't know if I said in the beginning of this video, my goal was 100 sheds, but at the Southern Iowa farm, I have not had near the bucks show up that I usually do, which is unfortunate. That's where 2 of my next year's targets are at, and neither of them have showed up. So not really sure where those deer are at, but it's still early. It can still show up. But until next video, boys, I feel like the next video might be putting food at another couple places, but most likely it will be us picking up the first shed of the year. So hope you guys tag along, and I hope you guys have a wonderful shed season this year. Alrighty, boys, one more thing I'd like to share. So this morning in church, a line that really hit me hard and is really deep if you think about it, but religion makes us proud of what we have done, but the gospel has made us proud of what Jesus has done. A lot of churches these days, it's a quick feel-good. They're feel-good churches where they don't preach the gospel. They don't make you feel convicted. They just allow you to stay in sin and not preach about it. I call them feel-good churches, and there's a lot of those. And I pray that you have discernment and you start to figure out if your church is one of those, and you get away from that deception. So, but I'm gonna end it with that. Until next time, love you boys. God bless. Hardy boys. I lied. We actually are doing one more pile today, and it is already done. It is right around my shoulder. But I don't want to show too much of this property. So a lot of people, I think, trespass this specific area, but got a hold of the owner. I got shed hunting permission, but I also got permission to put food here, and that is a blessing. I need to watch this Cuddeback G-Series home camera, and the second a shed that we want falls off, I need to be in here, because I know people trespass this place. I had on this neighboring property, I'll just tell you a little story quick. I got coyote hunting permission. I went in the evening. I have thermal, so I call it night, but it was the first set of the night, and I walked by 7 antlers. 7. And I was able to shed hunt with the owner that year. All 7 of those antlers were gone. Not a single one was there. So I know it gets trespassed, shed poached, whatever you want to call it. I absolutely hate people that trespass for sheds. It is absolutely ridiculous. With all that said, this is a 5th pile. I do have 2 more properties in the works, hopefully for next weekend, and hopefully by next weekend we'll be checking these piles for some sheds. So I appreciate you guys watching. God bless.